Hello and welcome to Create the Flow. I'm Monica Freeman, host and founder of Monica Freeman Studios and Unewell. I am here to guide you in aligning with your soul's purpose, trusting your inner voice, and building a life that you truly love. You were born with a purpose, and your intuition already knows the way. Hello, my love. Welcome to the show. I'm so happy that you tuned in for this episode because this is a really good one. I want to talk to you about your money blueprint. We all have a feeling about money, an emotion that is attached to money. And for some people, and maybe you watching this right now, you might feel that no matter how hard you work, no matter how much you do, you just cannot make the money that you want. And it's because you don't need another strategy and you don't need to keep working harder. When you work harder, you are telling your nervous system that in order for you to be safe, you have to keep doing more. So it just keeps grinding and hustling. And then that's when you experience burnout. You know that feeling of burnout when you have brain fog. You cannot find any clarity in what you're doing. You start to doubt yourself. You feel exhausted. There's so much confusion because you are operating from hyper masculine energy. Masculine energy is great when it's contained in the right dosages that are aligned with your nervous system. But if right now you have a limiting belief that is stored within your subconscious mind that is telling you, I have to work hard to make money, or I have to do more to make money, we have to clear that block. Because no matter what you do, you will continue to keep yourself from making more money. And I'll share a story with you. When I launched my business, Monica Freeman Studios, several years ago, I launched because my boss had passed away and everybody in the company had been laid off. The company went under and we kind of all had to find our way at this point. And when that happened, I chose to launch my business because that was already on the radar for the future. There's no better time than the present, right? So I dived into that. I had no idea that I was going to land clients immediately. That was by the good grace of God that I got so fortunate. However, I kept landing more and more and more clients. So I kept taking on more and more and more responsibilities. And I started feeling overworked. And at that point, I knew my nervous system was dysregulated. I knew I was in this hustle mentality, but I was also trying to be this boss babe, this hyper masculine, independent female that could own a company and be successful and do it all without listening to my body. So I kept taking more clients and I kept showing up. And then one day, when I was at the height of my business several years into building this agency, I started experiencing chronic stress, debilitating anxiety that forced me to take time down. And it wasn't a week or two down, it was an entire year down because I was that dysregulated. Because my nervous system could not sustain the pressure, the level of stress that it was enduring. And because of that, I started self-sabotaging myself. I started second-guessing myself. I started playing small. When you are not prepared for the thing that you want to receive, you will end up losing it because you will self-sabotage or your body will crack under the pressure. It will send you down another path because it cannot sustain that. But it's also you continuously telling your body, this is okay. We can keep up with this, but you can't outwork yourself. You'll never finish everything on your to-do list in one day. You may make the money that you want, but if you don't make it sustainably from a place of regulation, again, it's going to come crumbling down. So today, what I really want you to take away from this video is there is a belief that you have been carrying your entire life. And you have to figure out what that belief is that is causing you to feel like you have to keep working harder in order to earn more. My limiting belief was simply that I had to do it all, that I had to be this hyper independent woman who took care of it all and I had to work hard because that was shaped by my mother at such a young age. She was a single teenage parent doing all the things. So at a very young age, I learned that women work really hard to provide for the family and they do everything and they show up and they're independent. So all of that was imprinted on my nervous system. And every single decision that I made in my business went back to that program that I learned in childhood. Whatever your program is, you feel safe doing that process every day. So if your program is like mine and it says, keep doing more, keep showing up, eventually you're going to succeed, there is something that you have conditioned your nervous system to feel safe with that is no longer aligned with you because it is not sustainable and it's making you feel burnout, exhaustion. It's making you actually resent probably what you're doing. When we have to work super hard, and I don't mean showing up consistently, being excited. I'm talking about the kind of hard that feels like every day is a challenge. It's a struggle. You hate your life. You don't want to show up anymore. You want to quit. You just feel so exhausted. Like I said, that brain fog, that confusion. When you're in that frequency, you stay in that frequency and you attract more of that to you because the law of attraction states that like attracts like. So when you're in this low vibe energy, you are going to continue attracting that to you. You're going to continue working harder. You're going to continue dysregulating your nervous system. And the only way to heal this is to go internally and find that limiting belief. When you find that limiting belief, you're able to rewrite that limiting belief and create a new story. And over time, you build that safety internally. So now you don't feel like you have to operate from this hyper masculine energy to perform. You don't feel like you have to work harder or do more. You start to just show up and know that everything is coming because you have this clarity in what you're doing. You're also able to think of a solution. So it's not just throwing a strategy out there and hoping it works. It's actually opening up the prefrontal cortex that helps you to create the solution that's going to get you to that outcome that you want. So in this case, money. So many things happen internally that we are unaware of when we are trying to go, 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 go. But I've shared this before. You know that energy of chasing something. When you are being chased, you are running from that thing. Nobody's turning around to see what is chasing them. They are running as fast as they can because that energy feels like a threat to your body, to your nervous system. And your nervous system wants to protect you. Well, your body does the same thing when you keep trying to overwork and outperform yourself. It's like you're chasing yourself, but you're never going to catch up to yourself because you can't. That's why your body cracks. And then you need days off, sometimes weeks, in my case, a year. When you allow your body to heal, when you really get to the core of that limiting belief that has been blocking you, that I have to do more, I'll never succeed, this isn't enough, I need to make money, money is hard to make, money doesn't grow on trees. When you get to the core of what that limiting belief is, and you rewrite it, and you create new neural pathways in your brain, your nervous system feels safe taking a day off. Your nervous system feels safe showing up with a strategy and performing exactly that. It's not constantly scanning the environment to see what everybody else is doing. It's not constantly comparing to see if you could do something differently. It's not overworking. It's not stuck in hustle. It's not in that lack mindset. Because when you heal your nervous system and you heal that limiting belief, you create a safe space for the body to be regulated, to manifest, to materialize more things, to open up that vessel to receive. The only way you can really understand the way this feels, if you're sitting here watching this right now and you are in the mindset of lack, is imagine knowing that you have a bill to pay and you're not sure right now where the money's coming from. But you know that with conviction and certainty that you have a strategy, that your nervous system feels safe, and that your plan is fully aligned with you, and you're going to keep showing up, and the universe is going to deliver. And you have this internal peace while you're doing it. That's what rewriting your subconscious programming and your money story feels like. It feels like peace when you're making tons of money. You're not scared that you're going to lose it. You're not scared you're going to have to keep chasing it. You're not scared something's going to happen to it. And it feels like peace when you have no money and you're waiting to be prosperous. You're waiting for the opportunities. You're waiting to be able to fully feel abundant in your bank account. Because that level of peace feels so secure. It makes you feel abundant. It makes you feel safe. And it gives you this full certainty that everything is going to work out. The hardest days I've ever experienced in my life were setups to success. But I didn't see it at the time because they were setbacks. They pushed me so far back that I could not see how this was benefiting me. And because I couldn't see how it was benefiting me, I allowed myself to sit in that energy longer than I should have, until I learned what I'm sharing with you. When you shift your energy, you start to manifest and quantum leap. You start to timeline jump. And that's essentially what you want. You don't want to stay in this low frequency. You don't want to feel scared. You don't want to have to keep hustling. You don't want to hold on to an outdated money story that's not yours any longer. You want to be empowered. You want to show up with conviction. You want to trust that the universe always has your back and that you intuitively know what's best for you. That is the story that you're writing now. So today I want you to rewrite that limiting belief. Really ask yourself, what is the belief I've been holding on to since probably my youth, since childhood? What narrative have I allowed that to create in my reality? And how am I operating today through that narrative? Let me rewrite that. Let's start telling ourselves a new story. Your brain does not know fact or not. Whether it's fake or real, it doesn't know. So the more you tell your brain, the more it believes. So if you start saying, I am wealthy, I am worthy, I am successful, it believes that. And it starts acting like that person. Because a wealthy person's not just going to sit back and wait for things to happen to them. They're going to show up. That's what positive reinforcement does. That's what positive self-talk does. That's what affirmations do. So tune into a money affirmation, rewrite these limiting beliefs, rewrite your new narrative. Tell yourself the fact, the story that you want to hear. Delusional is beautiful when you use it for good, because the more delusional you are about this energy that you're in right now, when you reverse that and you tell yourself, I'm in this high vibe frequency, everything manifests easily. I attract wealth and abundance daily. I attract miracles. When you start saying that every single day, eventually your body heard it so many times, it believes it, and it starts operating differently. And that's when you shift to the reality that you're trying to get to now. But right now you're pushing that reality away because you're staying in this desperate energy that's repelling. And we want to expand. Don't contract your body. This is what you're doing when you're telling the universe, I'm afraid I have to work harder. I have to show up. I have to run. I have to outperform myself. Actually, I have anxious energy just even imitating that for you. I want you to just sit back. Say, thank you, God. Thank you, universe. Thank you, creator. Thank you, divine. Thank you, energy. Thank you, life, for showing up for me. Thank you for protecting me. Thank you for healing my nervous system. Thank you for letting me feel calm right now when things are not calm all around me. Thank you that you're about to show me exactly what I need to do next. Thank you that I'm quieting my mind so that I can hear you speak, so that my intuition can guide me. Thank you for the possibilities that are endless and the opportunities coming my way. Everything is possible for you. Anything that was placed in your heart, that was a download from the creator, was given to you specifically for you to carry out. That is a dream that is going to manifest on your timeline. So don't allow hustle energy and money stories in this limiting space to block you. Expand your vessel, open up to receive, and claim that, because you are going to get everything you wished and more. I love you so much, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. If you'd like more information, you can follow along on Instagram at Create the Flow Podcast or find me personally at Monica Freeman. And if you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to leave a review and share it with a friend.